So let's start with the Helen Adam Meller. She was an American uh, disability expert and an author. She was blind from 18 months of the life. She was deaf. So someone asked her, which disability you can explain, which disability is bothering to you more. She explained that blindness cut off you from the things, but deafness cuts you from the people. So that is the effect of deafness on the quality of life. It cuts off you from the people. So if we see the data of the WHO, the recent data says that almost 1.5 billion people globally are affected by some sort of hearing loss. 430 million people require rehabilitation, some sort of rehabilitation. By 2050, this data will go 2.5 billion people will have some sort of hearing loss, and almost 700 million will require rehabilitation. So every year on 3rd March, we celebrate World Hearing Day. So what was the theme this year? The theme was making hearing for all, making it happen. So how we can happen the hearing, the rehabilitation and the hearing for all? So first of all, we have to diagnose hearing loss as early as possible. So it is said that 40% of the hearing loss in case of children can be diagnosed as early as possible, and it can be prevented. So that is the preventable cause of hearing loss. So these are the various causes. There can be prenatal, natal and postnatal causes. So prenatal causes, there can be genetic causes that can be diagnosed before the birth of the child. Then there are perinatal causes, asphyxia, birth asphyxia, low birth weight. These can be managed. These can be managed at the time of birth, and the child can have a normal hearing. Just after birth, we have to go for hearing test. We can go for screening. That is called as autoacoustic emissions. Within 24 hours of birth, we can diagnose hearing loss in case of children. And we have to start rehabilitation as early as possible so that hearing can be given to the child. So by 3 months, or we should diagnose the hearing loss, and we should start rehabilitating the child. The rehabilitation should be start as early as possible, because by 2 years of age, the brain plasticity happens, so that the language development becomes hampered if we do rehabilitation after 2 years of age. So the rehabilitation has to be start as early as possible, and it should be initiated within 6 months of the age. So first of all, we have to go for autoacoustic emission at the time of birth. We have to repeat autoacoustic emission at 3 months and the 6 months. If the child is showing hearing loss, immediate actions has to be taken. Whether we have to go for hearing aids or we have to go for any cochlear implant, but the action has to be taken as early as possible. So as you know, there are 5 sense organs. Our eyes are responsible for vision, our ears are responsible for hearing, our tongue is responsible for taste sensation, and our skin is for touch. So it is our primary responsibility to maintain these 5 sense organs intact. The God has given these five sense organs to us to enjoy the quality of life. If any one of the sense organ is affected, the quality of life will be hampered. And in case of hearing, we have seen that the patient they hesitate because of the taboo associated with the condition. Elderly patients, they don't come for the rehabilitation because they think that it will be a taboo if someone knows that I am having hearing loss, or there can be economical burden I am putting on my children that I will be needing a hearing aid or something like that. But that is not the condition, because if an elderly patient is having hearing loss, the quality of life around him, of his wife, his children also gets affected. Everyone has to shout to make him hear. So if we can start the rehabilitation as early as possible, the patient itself have a better hearing, and the people around him will have better quality of life. So it is our primary responsibility that we don't just have to make the themes per year for the World Hearing Day, but we have to follow them. We have to make all the policymakers to adopt them, and we have to, in the communities, we have to make these hearing programs run in communities, in our societies, so that they can be, the society can get benefited as much as possible, and this burden of hearing can be lowered down as much as possible. The people, they can enjoy their quality of life as much as possible. So my take home message is that this year, again on 3rd March, we will celebrate World Hearing Day, but ensure everybody will participate in program as much as possible. We will raise awareness, because it's very simple. Just you have to go for screening. You have to go for screening. You have to teach the people that if there is a pregnant woman, you can have screening just after the birth of the child, within the 1 day. At the time of birth only, within 1 day we can diagnose whether the child is having hearing loss or not. And as the child is diagnosed with hearing loss, we can initiate rehabilitation as early as possible, so that the child will have a normal hearing. He or she can enjoy normal quality of life throughout the life. And in case of elderly patients below 60, that is called as presbycusis, we can encourage them to participate in hearing programs and get benefited by the hearing aid or any type of rehabilitation that can be given to the patient. Thank you.